Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So I've heard you talk about bubble realities
Bubble realities, yes.
and split realities, and then shifting
Yes.
to parallel realities.
Yeah, it's
Could you?
pretty much all the same idea.
It is. Okay.
Just different vernacular for different purposes of conversation.
Okay. Would you be able to expand on how we, as a group, create bubble realities? You had talked about
Well,
this
you do
before.
it by agreement. In other words, to put it colloquially, it's like saying that you have invited someone to play the game of chess. Yes? Mm-hmm. Well, if you're going to play the game of chess, then you need a board of a specific design that is a chess board. So you agree to lay out the foundation. You need pieces that are shaped a certain way. So you agree to use those pieces with someone else. You say, well, these pieces have to have certain abilities, and you agree on the rules that you will use to play this game, and they are the chess rules, and so you know that you're playing by the same rules by agreement. And then you create the material, create the pieces, put them on the board, sit down, and now that you know all that, you begin to play. It's a similar idea. You do this idea by creating a consensus reality, and you lay out the playing board, and you lay out the rules, and you say, well, this is what we're generally going to abide by in order to have this experience of playing this game with each other. It's done on a higher level. It's done on the spirit level and through what we call the template level vibrational border between physical and non-physical reality experience. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Is this answering your question?
Yes.
All right. Did you want to embellish this or explore this further?
No, I think that's fine for now.
All right. Anything else?
Yes. There's a term from the Heart Math Institute called coherence.
Yes.
With the coherence of the mind and the heart.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could expand on that.
Well, it's simply alignment. It's simply resonating together. It's really the idea that you're experiencing right now in the fact that we can communicate through a biological entity on your planet because the channel has been trained to have the kind of brainwave coherence necessary that functions like a tuning fork that is tuned to our vibration, so that when we have thoughts, if the channel operates on a similar wavelength, then the channel has similar thoughts at the same time. Therefore is able to translate our thoughts by linking and having coherence and alignment with our thoughts because our thoughts exist on a certain frequency level. By matching that level, you have the same thoughts at the same time. This is how telepathy and channeling work. Make sense?
Yes.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
And one last question.
Yes.
A week ago, I had a dream that I was visited by 2 or 3 grays.
Yes.
And I was suspended, and they were kind of manipulating my body in a familiar setting.
Yes.
And I wasn't scared, but
All
there was
right.
a point where they used some kind of tool and injected something into my hand and my head.
Yes.
And then they all stopped and looked almost startled and kind of ran away into the door of the light. It was
Yes.
almost like another entity came in the room.
Yes.
Was that, what was that?
An overseer.
An overseer.
Yes. To make sure that the slight miscalculation of the adjustment they had made could be readjusted.
Okay.
In altering the energy patterns of your genetic matrix to allow you to be more capable of fulfilling your part of the bargain and the agreement that you have made to participate in the hybridization agenda.
Is there anything you can expand on my contract?
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you for allowing us to reflect back to you what you already know.
So I'm going through a crossroads in life.
Crossroads, they're exciting.
I've
Speak up and be bold.
been told that I'm not going to be employed any longer by my employer.
How exciting! So you have utilized your environment to push you in a direction that you actually prefer to go in, but weren't necessarily willing to take action on, and so you did it remotely by using the others around you to create circumstances that would force you in that direction. How clever of you.
Coincidentally enough, I tried to start my own business,
Coincidentally enough,
but it's hard to make it take
if
off.
you say so.
Am I ready
Why
for
do
this?
you believe that this is difficult? Because remember, there's no such thing as an inherently difficult situation. It only appears difficult because of your definition of your relationship to it. So why are you imagining this to be difficult?
Maybe I'm afraid of losing my job and the safety.
But you're going to
security.
lose your job.
Yes.
So if it's inevitable, why be afraid? If you are more excited about moving in the direction of creating your own business, why are you not allowing that excitement to be paramount over the idea of the fear of losing something you don't prefer? Doesn't it sound a little illogical when you put it that way?
Yes.
Well, why are you being so illogical?
I don't know. I must
Yes,
be a
you do. Yes,
negative
you do.
belief
Yes,
system.
you do.
A negative belief system.
What are you afraid of? Remember, that's another way to find the definition. You can ask, what would I have to believe is true about myself in the situation in order to feel what I feel? And you can ask, if I actually did move in the direction of what really excites me, what I really prefer, what am I terrified will happen? That will also reveal the answer to you if you're willing to hear the answer. Mm-hmm. So, what's the definition? What are you afraid will happen if you actually move in the direction of your highest joy?
Like the previous lady had said.
That you will financially struggle?
Financially struggle, yeah.
Well, what's so bad about that? It's just an idea, you know.
But we need money to survive in our society.
Says you. Sometimes you may, sometimes you may not. As we have already explained, we understand it's a valid representation in your society of abundance and exchange, but it's not the only one. So why are you limiting the ways in which your business could be supported by insisting that it can only be supported by one form of abundance? And closing the door on all the other forms of synchronicity and abundance that could be coming to you to let you know you can move forward. Why would you do that? Why would you hamstring your own business with such a limited perspective?
I don't know.
Sure you do. It's because that's what you've been taught. And that's what you're buying into. And this is what this transmission is all about. Buying into those negative beliefs that have been capable of convincing you to suspend your disbelief about your worth. So you're buying the product that they're selling. They're running a business too.
Ooh.
And you're buying up all their products. Oh yes, that negative belief looks great. I'll take 3 of those and 2 of those. Oh yes, thank you. Oh, wait a minute. This one's on sale. Running a special on this negative belief. Don't forget, take that too. Here, I'll get you another bag. That'll really weigh you down. So stop buying things that you don't need from another business, and you will have what you need for your business. If you believe that.
I believe it.
All right. Then act like you believe it. Know that it's true. Show it in your behavior if you really know that to be true. And if for some reason along the way you suddenly find that you are going into doubt about that, well, that's fine, because remember, acting on your excitement acts as a reflective mirror to reveal to you where you still may be out of alignment. And therefore, that's an opportunity to recognize it, identify it consciously, deal with it, integrate it, bring that energy back into alignment. So discovering negative ideas on the path of excitement is one of the functions of the path of excitement, not an impediment in it. Don't define it as an obstacle. Don't define it as an interruption. It's part of the path of your excitement to find and discover things that are not part of the path of your excitement. It's doing its job by revealing them to you so you can deal with them and bring it back into alignment and expand your excitement and see how it works for you on the positive side as opposed to letting it work on the negative side. Yes?
Yes.
What is it you are excited about doing?
Well, I think the business is one step in the
A
right
business of
direction.
what?
Business.
What's the excitement?
The excitement is I've always tried to start a business.
One moment. Doesn't he sound completely excited? Well, I'm always trying to start. Where's your passion in this? Are you sure this is really exciting to you?
It's probably not the most exciting thing.
Well, what would be the most exciting thing? Thank you for being honest, finally. What would be more exciting than what you're considering?
I feel connection with the dolphins and bringing forward tones and sounds and songs.
And why can't that be a business? I don't know. Because some little negative belief deep within me told me that it can't be. So I guess I bought that too. The things that excite you will support you in the way you need to be supported, but you will never discover that if you don't actually take some action in the direction of those exciting things, even if it's just one step. Let it prove to you that it can support you. If you want to create something that you don't really prefer, that's not really your highest excitement, that you believe you really need to support you, by all means go ahead. But at the very least, if you're going to consider the idea of acting on your highest excitement, then at the very least give yourself a chance by acting to some degree on something that is really the most exciting thing whenever you can, however you can, to at least give that excitement a chance to show you that it can support you. And the more you give it a chance to show you that it can, the more you will see that it can, and the more confidence you will have, and let go of the things that you don't prefer, and let the thing that you're excited about actually support you all the time. Did you ever hear us tell the story about the woman that told stories to her children? There was a woman who was absolutely driven mad with passion to tell stories to her children. She was so good at it, so amazing at it, that her children started inviting their friends to hear the stories. And then the children started inviting their parents to hear the stories. And then they started inviting her to different houses to tell the stories because she was just so passionate about it and she was so engaging. And then they started paying her to come and tell stories. Now, if someone had told her from the beginning, well, how are you going to make a living just telling stories? That's ridiculous. That's nonsense. No one can make a living just doing that. Then maybe she wouldn't have gone forward that way. But because it was her passion, she didn't pay attention to the naysayers. She just kept doing it, and eventually it found a way to support her. That's how it works. Yes?
Yeah.
What many people on your planet have for a long time told you is just a fantasy is actually the way life works. Shock and surprise. So, the things that you have all been doing that prevent you from experiencing those miracles, that's the exception. Miracles are the natural order of things. Not experiencing them, that's the exception. Make sense?
Yeah.
But this is just a mechanism. It'll work for you just as easily as it works for everyone else because it is already working for you. It's just that you're using it in a negative way by feeding it negative information, so it has no choice but to feed back a negative experience, an uncertainty, a self-doubt, because that's the vibration you're putting into it. But it's just a mechanism. It doesn't have a mind of its own. It's not going to contradict you. The mechanism can't wag its finger at you and say, no, no, no. That'll never work. The negative beliefs can convince you that the mechanism will do that, but the mechanism can't actually do that. It's just a mechanism. It's just the nature and structure of existence. That's just how it works. It's just one of the laws. What you put out is what you get back. That can't change. Make sense?
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the beast. It can't be anything but that. So why not just use it to your advantage instead of to your disadvantage? It's up to you. It doesn't care. It will give you exactly what you instruct it to give you. But you have to actually give it what you really prefer in order for you to see that it's actually supporting that. If you have a definition of excitement that is in any way, shape, or form contradictory to an actual definition of excitement, it can only give you the reflection of the definitional formula you have fed into the machine. So if you have a definition of excitement that says, well, I'm going to act on my highest excitement, but how do I know my excitement can really support me? Maybe it will let me down. I don't know. That's not a definition of excitement. That's its own definition, and it's its own reality. The definition of, I'm going to act on my excitement, but it may disappoint me, is another definition entirely than my excitement is capable of supporting me. That's two different reality definitions, and thus two different reality experiences. You have to be clear about what you're feeding into the machine so that you're not surprised when you get something back that is not representative of something that excitement would actually be, because you suddenly realize, oh, well, I didn't feed it a definition of excitement, really. I fed it something different, and that's why I got something different back. It's that simple. Just be clear about your definitions, and your reality will be a clear reflection. Yes?
Yeah.
In much the same way, again, that when you're looking at your reflection in a mirror, if you want to see your reflection smile, you can't just do this and hope for the mirror to go. You have to go for the mirror to go. If you go, the mirror can only go. It will only give back what you put out. It's that simple. This is just physics. That's all this is. Yes?
Yeah.
Is this helping?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'll have to
Hesitation.
get in touch with my negative beliefs and
All right.
and process it.
If you say so. I would suggest and encourage you to do that with all the excitement you can muster. Because it's part of your excitement in order to discover those negative beliefs, because when you do, the energy that they have been taking up will be added to your excitement. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Off
Bashar.
you go.